Problems, problems, problems. As teachers, we're faced with many challenges in our classrooms. Like our students may not be motivated to learn, or we may have problems with finding appropriate classroom materials, or time may be a problem for us, that we may not be able to catch up with the curriculum requirements. Our classrooms may have students with diverse needs, or even our classrooms may physically not meet our needs, etc., etc., etc. I mean, as teachers, what is important is that as teachers, how do we respond to these challenges? Well, in this presentation, I would like to talk about a practice that can help teachers in this respect. This presentation is about use of action research as a tool for teacher education in response to the article that I have read titled Teachers Researching Their Own Practice by Mark Wyatt. The article is based on a qualitative case study in a Middle Eastern country during an in-service TESOL program run by a British university for the local Ministry of Education. The article aims to explore the impacts of action research on teachers and suggests that action research should be included as a course component in in-service teacher education. Before further explaining how this study was held, I would like to briefly mention what action research is to you. So let's take a look at the literature to gain a better understanding about it. So what is action research? In basic terms, action research is a disciplined process of inquiry conducted by and for those taking the action. Here, what we mean with by and for those taking action are the teachers themselves, as you might guess. In action research, teachers are involved in active exploration of both theory and practice. So they get a chance to link their own classroom practice with academic knowledge. This is a process in which teachers, take various roles. The roles of a researcher, designer, an implementer. Teachers spot their own needs. By researching and exploration, they find answers to their needs and they bring effective solutions themselves. In this sense, it helps teachers go beyond their boundaries, pushing them out of their comfort zone in which they submissively conform to the limitations of their everyday realities, and they go into a challenge zone where they become active problem solvers. So, action research is a kind of problem-solving process for teachers, requiring them to do research, and this provides benefits in many ways. We can, list these as you see on the screen. Action research raises teachers' awareness about their learning and teaching. Teachers become more aware of what and how they go about in their classrooms. Action research also helps teachers develop, problem-solving skills and flexibility in a way that they focus on their problems from multiple perspectives. Action research also improves teachers' research skills. I mean, teachers acquire a sense of how to do research, how to define a research question, how to collect data, how to process it. So they start looking at their everyday classroom experience through more critical lenses. In this sense, it also helps to professionalize their teaching in their eyes. Their teaching lands itself on a more solid ground, something observable, measurable, something that can be improved. On the other hand, action research enhances teachers' motivation. By getting involved in action research, teachers see that problems relevant to their teaching context can be sorted out, and they can be more effective in problem-solving process. So they create an appropriate platform for themselves to display their skills in multi-directions. The sense of achievement they gain from this experience helps, increases their motivation to a great extent. In addition, action research encourages teachers to adopt lifelong learning as a strategy in their professional life. Teachers get to understand learning to teach is not limited to formal school education or in-service trainings, but they can also initiate and gain autonomy over their learning. Moreover, I can say that action research increases collaboration among colleagues by sharing their research findings, discussing their classroom experience. Teachers, arose collective enthusiasm for teaching among themselves. In this small sharing and caring community they create, they support and show respect, mutual understanding towards each other. This also reminds us the notion of community of practice here, which is another tool for continuous professional development. That can be a topic to share in another presentation. So, all in all, I can say that action research can empower teachers cognitively, pedagogically, and socially. So, let's get back to Mark Wyatt's article. As we said before, Wyatt's article is based on a qualitative case study taking place in the context of an in-service teacher training program in a Middle Eastern country. The study focuses on 4 teachers who got involved in action research as part of their course component in this program. And the study lasted over 3 years, and in this context started out of the needs for awareness raising activities in teacher education, allowing teachers opportunities to gain autonomy over their learning, and promoting action research as a tool for development. Well, what sort of context did these teachers work? Now, let's see. This case study was done in the context of a TESOL program. This program normally runs 4 years. The first year focuses explicitly on research skills. The second and the third years involves practice as, for example, planning a communicative activity and evaluating it, etc. And in the fourth year, teachers are involved in action research about a topic of their own choice. As a methodology in this study, semi-structured interviews, observations, and teachers' written work and feedback are utilized to see how teachers used action research and to elicit their reflections and to explore their cognitive processes. There were 4 teachers involved in action research as part of this case study. Each teacher dealt with his or her own selected topic. For example, Sarah dealt with learners gaining insufficient speaking activities. Rashid dealt with low achievers not gaining enough support in group activities. And Walid teaches making insufficient use of materials. Mariam teaches being unable to reflect on their lessons. All right, now here you see some remarks from the participants, all talking about action research positively. All in all, what outcomes did the study achieve? Well, the observation notes, semi-structured interviews, and feedback show that teachers have become more aware of their teaching and learning. And this boosted their motivation and self-confidence. They also reported that they gained research skills and autonomy during the time of action research. On the basis of these outcomes, Mark Wyatt suggests that action research should be made part of in-service training programs to increase teachers' learning autonomy and motivation to make professional development as a lifelong learning strategy. Well, personally, I think action research is useful in the sense that it literally allows teachers space to roam freely in their classrooms. I mean, it helps teachers become active experimenters, and they can test their boundaries. It provides a chance for freedom in a way. This is particularly an important aspect because today teachers often feel trapped by the imposed curriculum designs. I think action research can help to ease teachers' implementation process of these, pre-specified curriculum designs. This happens in a way that teachers can create practical and sound solutions to fix their everyday classroom problems. In this sense, action research provides an opportunity for teachers to seek for alternatives. By observing their classrooms, defining their problems, teachers can become more attentive and responsive to their students and also their own needs. In multicultural settings, action research also allows us to be flexible in our classroom practice. We can develop specific, treatment for different needs in our classrooms. Well, I believe teaching is an art, and by nature it embodies creativity. But in the hustle and bustle of our everyday life, unfortunately, teachers often neglect their own learning. But we should bear in mind that in order to teach well, teachers themselves need to be good learners too. And in this sense, I think action research can easily help them. They can become inquisitive, enthusiastic, and motivated learners. So, that's all. I hope this is helpful for you. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.